Hello and welcome to Awaz News. I'm Simona Katoni and I'll be taking you through big news across Canada. Feds to allow small-scale possession of some illicit drugs in BC starting next year. Lockdown lifted at Oakville High School after reports of a person with firearm in the area. New charge against Jacob Hoggart surfaces as he awaits verdict in sex assault trial. Funeral for popular Punjabi rapper with connections to Toronto held in India. Brazen as hell, Toronto man's luxury car stolen during Auto Trader sale. Andrea Horwath vague on future as NDP leader ahead of Ontario election. Toronto confirms second case of monkeypox. Homicide investigation underway after a man found with gunshot wounds near vehicle in Brampton Park. Toronto breaks 78-year-old temperature record. So those were the headlines. Now let's jump right into the details. Adults in British Columbia will be allowed to possess small amount of some illicit drugs starting next year. The federal government announced today a move that marks a dramatic shift in Canada's drug policy. The federal government says Canadians 18 years of age and older will be able to possess up to a cumulative 2.5 grams of opioid, cocaine, meth, and MDA within British Columbia. The announcement is in response to a request from the province for an exemption from the law criminalizing drug possession. The first of its kind exemption will go into effect from January 31st, 2023 and last until January 31st, 2026, unless it's revoked or replaced before then. The exemption means there will be no arrest charges or seizures for people possessions at or below the 2.5 gram threshold. A suspect has been arrested and a firearm has been seized following an incident that resulted in an Oakville High School briefly being placed under lockdown today afternoon. At around 2:45 p.m., Halter Regional Police Service tweeted that the White Oak Secondary School near 6th Line and McCraney Street East was in lockdown for reports of a male with firearm in the area. However, police confirmed around 3:40 p.m. that a suspect has been taken into custody and the lockdown and hold and secure orders at the local school has been lifted. Police have said that a firearm was recovered, but they have not indicated whether it was real or replica at this point. It is also not clear what charges, if any, suspect will face. Jacob Hoggart, the former frontman for rock band Headley, is facing new rape allegation related to a June 2016 encounter in Kirkland Lake, Ontario. Hoggart was charged in March with sexual assault causing bodily harm involving a woman who was 19 at that time. Court documents indicate the alleged assault took place around June 25, 2016, when the band headlined Homecoming Week celebration in the northern Ontario town located about 300 kilometers northeast of Sudbury. In an exclusive interview, the complainant alleged that Hoggart forced himself on her 6 years ago at the Comfort Inn in Kirkland Lake where the band was staying. Signs calling for justice and tattoos of Sidhu Moosewala's face were seen at the funeral for the young Punjabi rap star who was shot and killed in his hometown on Sunday. The up-and-coming artist had become a smash hit in his few short years on the scene due to his ability to blend rap and traditional music in a way that blurred international borders. Thousands of fans and relatives attended the service in Mansa in Punjab state on Tuesday. Fans could be seen holding posters that read, "We need justice," as his family members overlooked the crowd of mourners and thanked them for being their support. Moosewala and the others were driving in Mansa on Sunday evening when they were shot at. The 20-year-old rapper was rushed to the hospital where he was pronounced dead. A Toronto man is sounding the alarm after he says his luxury sports car was stolen in broad daylight while he was selling the vehicle on an online marketplace earlier this month. The Toronto man said he listed his car on Auto Trader soon after he says an eager buyer messaged him to come see the vehicle that afternoon. Instead of driving to the seller's residence, the buyer approached by foot, stating he had parked down the street. The seller said the two spent close to an hour together, first inspecting the parked car and then went to a test drive in the neighborhood. When they returned, the seller said the buyer expressed intention to purchase the car and asked if the engine could be turned on again in order to hear it purr. Then he said the buyer asked to take a look at the key and swap spots to get a feel for the driver's seat. He got me to somehow get out of the car, the seller said. Just as the seller exited the vehicle, he says the buyer quickly reversed and accelerated into the oncoming traffic. He thought of everything, the seller said. It was brazen as hell. Police confirmed that a Toronto man who had listed his car on AutoTrader earlier this month was the victim of a carjacking. Andrea Horwath isn't guaranteeing that she will remain as NDP leader after Thursday's election, even if her party forms official opposition again. There are 2 days left before the vote, and polls suggest the Progressive Conservatives may be cruising to a second majority government. Horwath has been the leader of the New Democrat through 4 elections, and many observers expect her to step down if her party doesn't form government this time. Asked on campaign trail Tuesday if there's a vote threshold her party had to meet in order for her to stay on as a leader, Horwath did not directly answer. "I'm going to wait to see what the people of Ontario decided. I hope they vote for hope," she said. Toronto is reporting a second case of monkeypox in the city. Today, Toronto Public Health confirmed another case of the virus, resulting in a total of 2 confirmed cases so far. The city says it is currently investigating 6 other cases and 9 possible cases that were deemed negative. Toronto reported its first confirmed case last Thursday. Monkeypox is a rare disease that was first identified in monkeys and is mostly found in Central and Western Africa. Monkeypox is related to a smallpox but has milder symptoms. The virus has gained worldwide attention in the past couple of weeks as cases are on the rise, especially in Europe, the US, Israel, and Australia. The virus typically spread from close person-to-person contact through respiratory droplets, direct contact with the skin lesions or bodily fluids, or indirect contact through contaminated clothing or linen. A homicide investigation is underway after a man was found with multiple gunshot wounds in Brampton Park on Monday night. Police says they were initially called the Bramley Road and Beware Drive area at around 10:30 p.m. for reports of shooting but were unable to locate a victim. About 45 minutes later, police received another call about a vehicle driving erratically in a residential area near Heart Lake and Cooperfield Road, which is about 5 kilometers away. Police says the officers responded and soon determined that the vehicle had driven into a nearby park. They said they found a deceased male outside the vehicle with apparent gunshot wounds, but not sure whether that individual was the driver of the vehicle. Police do say that the investigators now believe the deceased is connected in some way to the earlier call for the reported shooting. No arrests have been made in connection with the homicide so far, and no information has been released about potential suspects. Toronto broke a 78-year-old temperature record today as the heat warning is in effect for the city. Environment Canada says the city hit a high of 32.1 degrees Celsius at Toronto's Pearson International Airport, surpassing the previous record on today's date back in 1944 of 31.1 degrees Celsius. However, today's temperature feels more like 36 degrees Celsius with humidity. The weather agency issued a heat warning for the city today as hot and humid conditions are expected throughout the day. Thank you for tuning in. I'm Simone Cutoni, and I'll see you tomorrow, same time, same channel. Adios.